Hi, I'm Hazley Cush, and this is the monthly landlord update for July from Living Here Cush Partners. We leased about 60 properties for the month. I had anticipated that we might do a few more than that, and sometimes the July market can really be, can be greeted by January tenants that are on a 6-month lease. They're looking at prices in the market and thinking, oh, I might change tenancies. And I think maybe this year they just haven't seen that value in the market that we have seen in previous years, especially in the apartment space. So probably showing a firming of prices in the market. But yeah, about 60 properties for the month. The lowest of those was $170 a week, and the highest of those was $1,805, and that was an executive home in Ascot. For the last couple of months, you would have seen we are leasing a lot of properties in the high end, and they're being fueled largely by people that have sold and deciding to sit out of the market while they look for a new property, or migration of interstate professionals, or we've had a couple of international professionals filling that top end market. So still a little bit buoyant in that regard. In the month, you would have seen with the email this month that the New Farm Peninsula has been greeted, unfortunately, by fire, and we've seen fire at the New Farm Boxing Stadium and the New Farm Deli. But probably didn't make the press was one of our apartments that we manage, a 1-bedroom unit in New Farm. It was engulfed by fire. And that leads to questions of, well, what happens with that? Who pays? So the tenant unfortunately lost everything and they weren't insured. The landlord lost the rent, obviously, from the tenant. So when a fire takes place and the property is uninhabitable, then the lease immediately ceases. And then all of the units being gutted, so it's got to be completely rebuilt. So the landlord had landlord insurance, but not contents insurance. And so loss of rent and some of those particulars will be covered under their landlord policy. But the contents, the building insurance from the body corporate is covering a lot of the internal works, but there's still some questions about, will they cover all of it? Will they cover the curtains? Will they cover the kitchen replacement, the bathroom replacement? So we're waiting to hear whether that will be the case. And they haven't authorised us to release the bond. The tenant, they've lost everything. They don't have a place to stay. They're staying with friends at the moment. They're in a really difficult situation. And we're sitting there trying to piece together how we can assist this poor tenant, and also how we can help the landlord, who is now loss of rent for months while the place is rebuilt, and then the cost of rebuilding. So we're going to follow this quite closely for you, but it does just bring back to the floor how important it is that you are well insured. That if you're a landlord, you have landlord insurance and you have building insurance. And that looks after things like the curtains, the carpets, and all the building insurance throughout the property. And if you're a tenant, you've got to have content insurance, for these situations. Insurance is one of those things that you don't need it until you need it, and when you need it, it's cheap. So really, we do encourage that you have all of your, whether you're a landlord or a tenant, have your place insured. Please talk to your property manager to see who our preferred providers are. If myself or any one of our managers can help you at any time, please reach out to us, and thanks again for your business this month.